It is our last day in Washington, D.C., and a must-see, the Supreme Court. Not too far from there, we're at Nationals Park, the home of the Washington Nationals. And this afternoon, it is the Milwaukee Brewers and the Washington Nationals, Game 3 of this three-game series. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Nationals Park. Great to have you with us here this afternoon. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Telly Hughes is our reporter today. Well, the Brewers are getting a lot of production from one guy in particular. That is Chris Davis, who has found his home run stroke. He's had a huge month of August, driving in runs, hitting home runs. Had another one last night, partner.
Yeah, he's always been a streaky hitter. I mean, his first couple of years with the Brewers, but this streak has lasted a good long time. It's been about a month, and Chris Davis, now that he's getting everyday playing time, I think he's able to relax up there at the plate, showing what he can do, hitting home runs, not just pulling home runs into left field, showing good power into center field and into right center. Not only is he hitting home runs, but driving in a lot of runs. He's first in home runs, first in RBIs, National League ranks in the month of August. So Chris Davis showing that he belongs in left field next year.
You know what's interesting about Davis? The Brewers' last 14 homers, Davis has hit 8 of them. Ryan Braun has 3 during that stretch. He is red hot, back in the lineup once again today. Craig Counsell against Matt Williams. A couple of former Diamondbacks. It's the series finale in the rubber game, and it's coming up next. Final game of the season series, as a matter of fact. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and Brewers baseball today on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Sun is shining brightly on this Sunday afternoon. This is not just the rubber game of this series, but the rubber game of the season series as well. Craig Counsell and the Brewers won the opener, lopsided affair on Friday night, and then the Nationals returned the favor with a lopsided win last night. So here is Council's batting order today. Scooter Gennett back in the leadoff spot, then Lucroy, and then Braun. Middle of the order is Adam Lynn, Chris Davis, Domingo Santana. He gets his second start as a Brewer. And then it's Segura, Herrera, and Garza rounding out the Potawatomi batting order that will face the Wisconsin native, Jordan Zimmermann.
Yeah, 7th season for Jordan Zimmermann. His first year was 2009, the winningest pitcher in the Nationals' short history. 66-48 his career record. They beat the Rockies his last time out, 15-6 victory when 6 innings, give up 4 earned runs, including 3 homers. That snapped a 3-game losing streak for Jordan Zimmermann. Well, let's check out the Menards defense behind Zimmermann here today. Much better defensively last night. Very poor defense for the Nationals in the first game of the series on Friday. Worth, Taylor, and Harper, same outfield as the first 2 games of the series. Rendon, Desmond Espinosa, and Ryan Zimmerman from third to first, and Wilson Ramos behind home plate.
Yeah, we're ready for baseball today on a Sunday afternoon. Great to have you with us this afternoon. The Brewers and the Nationals. Washington is contending this year. They got their record back to 500 with a win last night. They are 5 games back of the New York Mets. And the first offering by Zimmermann is in there for a strike, and away we go. Gennett coming in batting .259. Council has been switching leadoff hitters day in, day out, it seems. He's got Gennett in there today. Council had Segura lead off, also had Shane Peterson in the top spot as well. Peterson sits today. Domingo Santana gets the start in center field, so it is Gennett who leads off against Zimmermann, and a swing and a foul out of play.
Yeah, 10 different leadoff hitters for the Brewers this year. They've been trying to find that consistent leadoff hitters. Gennett's been pretty good in the top of the order.
And Gennett lines one to center field, a base hit. So a good way to start the afternoon. A clean single of Jordan Zimmermann. Brewers roughed up Zimmermann in Milwaukee. Is really one of the first bad outings he's ever had against a team he grew up cheering for. Zimmermann back on June 12th at Miller Park lasted just 3 1/3, and he gave up 9 hits and 6 earned runs in that game. That was an 8-4 loss at the hands of the Brewers. Against Milwaukee, that was his first loss. He's 4-1 career with a .371 earned run average, and today will be his 7th career start against his hometown team.
Yeah, the only other start that Zimmermann has made that's been worse than that one was way back in April against the Red Sox. 2 1/3, give up 7 earned runs. So he's been very consistent this year. 9 and 8, yeah, good earned run average, about 3.5.
First pitcher in Nationals history to throw a no-hitter. That was last September 28th of last season. And they got another no-hitter this year from Max Scherzer.
And Zimmermann not afraid to throw the ball over the plate. Doesn't walk many. 27 walks, 120 strikeouts in his first 25 starts this year. A little over 1 walk per game. That's pretty good.
There's a great note on Zimmermann as well concerning the walks. He has not walked 2 straight batters in 115 starts. You got to go all the way back to the 2012 season, May 6th of 2012, when he walked a couple of Phillies back to back. So very good command in the strike zone with all 4 pitches. That's why he has emerged as one of the best right-handers in the game.
Yeah, basically fastball slider to right-handers. He'll get the fastball in the mid-90s. 95 miles an hour. His cruising speed is about 93, but he can reach back a little bit. He'll throw a few more curveballs to left-handers. That's the pitch that Gennett hit into center field.
Lucroy with Gennett at first. And there goes Scooter, and Lucroy sends that one deep into left center field. That is way back there, and goodbye. A home run for Lucroy. 2-run shot. Lucroy sends one out of here. And the Brewers started with a bang here this afternoon against Jordan Zimmermann.
Well, made a mistake to Jeanette with the breaking ball, and I think he did the same right there to Jonathan Lucroy. Was able to center on it and knock it out of here. Yep, it was a hanging slider that time, and Jonathan able to give the Brewers a 2-0 lead. Jeanette was running on the pitch. Zimmerman hangs a breaking ball, and Lucroy knocks it out of here. Yeah, good start to the day for the Crew.
And here is Ryan Braun now, and he swings at the first pitch, fouls it away. Lucroy's having a nice series here in D.C. He's now 5 for 9. Now 3 runs batted in. Had a tough homestand, did Lucroy, with just 4 hits on the 6-game homestand, but he continues to swing the bat well against Washington. Ryan Braun's had a good year against the Nationals as well. And he rips that one into right field. Harper's going back, turned around. That's off the wall. And Braun's going to challenge him. Harper's throw comes in. The tag in time.
Yeah, what an arm, huh?
Braun is out. What a throw by Bryce Harper.
Yeah, we've seen him show that arm off in this series. Yeah, very quick. He gets rid of it about as quickly as any outfielder will. A lot like Ryan Braun, but look at the arm strength, how quick he gets rid of it. Instinctively knows where second base is and throws a strike with something on to get Braun. Not even close, really. That's about as good as it gets. Bryce Harper, not just a hitter, all the way on the fly.
So that'll be a single and a put out at second. How many? 6th assist of the year for Bryce Harper. Now, he almost threw out Lucroy at the plate the other night from deep right field, a throw that came in all the way in the air. That's the first out of the inning. The Brewers have started this game with 3 straight hits. And here's Adam Lind now against Zimmerman.
Yeah, tough to run on this Nationals outfield. Michael Taylor's got a good arm. He's got 6 assists. Base runners beware, at your own risk.
There's a strike to Lynn. Well, Adam comes in batting .284. He's got 17 home runs this year. And a little half swing. He goes 2-2 to Lind. Adam in this series is 2 out of 7. And he's had a good year against the Nationals as well. Braun, Lucroy, and Lind all swung the bat well against Washington. And Lind on the ground out to Espinoza. And there's out number 2. So 2 outs, and that'll set up Chris Davis. Bases empty for him. Davis is on a home run binge right now. Last night got a hanging slider from Joe Ross. Did not miss it. Only run of the game for the Brewers. Powerball home run number 15 for Chris Davis, and 8 of those 15 have come in the month of August.
Yeah, just on an incredible roll that has lasted a good long time. That's about the only mistake that Joe Ross made last night. First pitch slider, and Davis hit it about 450 feet out there into left field.
2 for 7 in the series. He's driven in a couple of runs. Had a sac fly in the opener on Friday. Brewers lost last night 6-1. Winning pitcher was Joe Ross, and Taylor Youngman suffered the loss. A couple of rookies matching up against each other. 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis, big swing and a miss.
Yeah, pretty straight fastball. Not a lot of movement on it. He will two-seam it once in a while, but 94, 95 he tops out at.
And Davis pulls it on the ground over to Rendon at third base. And that will retire the side. But the Brewers off with a bang today. Jonathan Lucroy. Final Sunday in D.C. Lucroy goes deep. Home run number 5 for him. 2-0 Crew. home run off Zimmerman in the first. That stakes Matt Garza to an early lead today. Here are the Washington Nationals. The Potawatomi batting order turned in by Matt Williams. Jason Worth back in the leadoff spot with Rendon, then Harper, Ryan Zimmerman, Ian Desmond, Danny Espinosa in the middle with Wilson Ramos, Michael A. Taylor, who's been hot, and Jordan Zimmerman rounding out the starting nine. That will face right-hander Matt Garza.
Yeah, 23rd start, 24th appearance of the year. You can see the earned run average right around 5. This is his 5th start in the month of August. 1-2 with an earned run average just a little bit under 4, making career start number 8 against the Nationals. He is 0-3. That included a loss earlier this year at Miller Park.
Brewers operating in a 4-man rotation right now with many off days sprinkled throughout this last week of August. Jason Worth leads off for the Nationals. He's got his average up over 200 now. Have been hitting in the 100s on the interstate, as they say. Worth 3 for 8 in the series. He's had his troubles running the bases and fielding fly balls in the outfield. But they're getting Worth back. He's been hurt good part of the season, just his 52nd game of the year today. Shoulder surgery in the offseason, and then had a wrist injury, and he still wears that protective brace on his left wrist. Always been tough on the Brew Crew pitchers throughout the years, from his days with the Phillies and now with the Nationals. He lines one down the left field line. That's going to go for extra bases. Worth on his way to second with a double.
Well, both teams coming out swinging the bats here today. Yeah, down the middle, that was the problem that he had in his last start. That was against the Marlins. A lot of pitches down the wide of the plate. Trying to come inside, left it out over the plate, and Worth able to rip it down the line and left. Location, 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 and not very good for Garza his last time out. Very good against the Cubs to start before.
So it's a leadoff double. Here is Rendon, who homered last night, and this is a bat that the Nationals are desperately hoping can get going down this home stretch. Washington has been one of the bigger disappointments in all of baseball this year. Many expected them not only to make the postseason, but be the National League representative in the World Series with the kind of roster that they assembled in the offseason. Rendon, like Worth, has been hurt quite a bit this year as well. Had a knee injury, an oblique injury.
And that's really been the story for the Washington Nationals. Injuries, not just the position players, but the pitching staff as well. Strasburg's been on the DL a couple of times.
And a bouncing ball right to Jeanette. This will get a run over to third. And Worth advances, but the first out for Matt Garza.
Now let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. You've got Domingo Santana out in center field. He got a start on Friday. Hit a home run, so he gets a start in center field on this Sunday. Herrera, Segura, Jeanette, and Lind in the infield. And Lucroy behind home plate. Lucroy just continues to play just about every day.
Here's Bryce Harper, an MVP candidate this season. Looks like a 2-horse race right now with Harper and Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt had a monster night last night for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Harper was 1 for 4 last night. And you've probably seen that great play by Shane Peterson on many of the highlight reels last night and today. Well, it was Harper's batted ball that Peterson made that catch on. That diving play turned into a double play in the first inning. Harper's hitting .329 and a National League leading 31 home runs. He's driven in 74. He is sprinkled among most of the major offensive categories in the National League. He leads Nolan Arenado by 1 home run for the home run title. Todd Frazier, Carlos Gonzalez, each with 29. And then Stanton's in there with 27. He's been on the disabled list for a while.
He just puts a good swing on just about everything. Even that pitch right there out of the strike zone, hit it hard but foul, and he's just been able to barrel up just about everything when he's up to the plate. It's that kind of year for Harper. All of 22 years old.
Hard to believe. He is
isn't it?
He's one of the most marketable players in the game. He and Mike Trout. And that eye black that he wears, a bit of a signature for Harper. And you start to see his influence when you just take a peek at the Little League World Series going on this week in Williamsport. They're all sporting the eye black, many of them.
The real eye black, not the patches.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Harper. Jason Worth over at third base. Brewers with a 2-run homer from Lucroy in the first.
Little excessive eye black, but it works for him. It's kind of use that to cut down the glare. You know, you stand up there, that when it's sunny out, that the black underneath your eyes kind of cuts down some glare. You can see a little bit better.
Plus, it makes you look kind of mean.
I think that's more important. That's why they wear it.
Davis has the stickers, the eye black stickers on. There's a swing and a miss. Wow, Harper really going out of the strike zone. And Garza picks up a strikeout for out number 2 here in the first inning.
Yeah, Harper not able to get a piece of either curveball that he swung at. Now that's going to be an important pitch for Matt Garza. The first curveball at 72 miles an hour. And that one not even close.
So 2 men are out now. Here's Ryan Zimmerman. Second consecutive start. He was out of the lineup on Friday night. He's been dealing with a foot injury all year, more into the heel. He swings at the first pitch, rips one into center field. That's over the head of Santana and off the wall. And Zimmerman on his way to second. Santana's throw is late. Heck of a throw by Santana, but it's a double and an RBI. Zimmerman wasting no time. Jumps on the first pitch from Garza, makes it 2-1 Milwaukee.
Yeah, watch the location. It was supposed to be away. It's up out over the plate, not where he wanted it. And Ryan Zimmerman able to hammer it off that center field fence. Good throw in there by Santana, but a little bit too late.
I tell you, he's at the 400-foot mark where he's making that throw.
He's got a good arm, good accurate arm. Showed it that time. Not sure why Scooter took the throw where he did. Took the throw on the infield side of the bag, and when you do that, you have no chance to get it out. Maybe was trying to get the easy hop.
So it's a 2-out double. Here is Ian Desmond now. Nationals get one right back.
There have been some hard hit balls already in this game.
Desmond 2 hits and 6 tries in this series. Sitting on 15 home runs for Washington. He has big power, especially from the shortstop position. He's had a tough year defensively at the position this season.
Yeah, but he's been in there just about every day. This is his 119th game. He leads the Nationals in games played this year. So as much as he's struggled, he's been able to stay in the lineup.
Now that's been the theme around here. Matt Williams has stuck with his guys. He's got a lot of big name players that most of them were here last year, and Washington won the division. They won 96 games last season, but then lost in the division series last season to the San Francisco Giants. There's a strike to Desmond. 3-2 the count. Now, Washington had the best record in the National League last year. The Giants were the wild card number 2 team last year. Went on the road. They beat the Pirates in the wild card game and then came here to D.C. and the Giants took 3 out of 4 from them to advance. And of course they would ultimately win the World Series. Beat the Nationals, the Cardinals, and then took down the Kansas City Royals in an epic World Series last year. And we're gearing up for another postseason in 2015.
It's going to be a nice finish to the season, both leagues.
A lot of teams in the race, especially in the wild card of the American League. Full count to Desmond. Zimmerman at second. Desmond swinging a foul. Count stays at 3-2.
It's just been one of those years for Ian Desmond. Just a little bit ahead, a little bit behind, just not picking the ball up. He's had a couple of good pitches to hit in this at bat. Just fouling him off. He struck out a lot against the Brewers this year.
Do it again. Another full count. Run is in on 2 hits. And Desmond takes a called strike 3. Garza rings the bell. Couple of strikeouts for Garza. Gives up a run on 2 hits. Zimmerman with an RBI double.
The Brewers are up 2-1, and Domingo Santana has been pretty impressive. He's got a couple of hits, both for extra bases. This was the big blast on Friday night, a 2-run shot to give the Brewers a 5-1 lead, and then last night able to knock one off the center field fence. So Domingo Santana is showing his big power, and that's what everybody was talking about when the Brewers picked him up. Big kid who could swing the bat.
Making his second start as a Brewer. Got the start on a Friday night playing center field, and he's back in there in center field this afternoon against Zimmerman. Well, it gives you a lot to be excited about. I was talking to Darnell Coles before the game today. The Brewers took batting practice underneath in the tunnel, and Darnell Coles saying, I have seen the future, and it is now. This kid is impressive. Long and lean, has great power, pole-to-pole power, they say.
It's just going to be a matter of whether he's going to be able to get enough at bats to be productive on a regular basis. Doesn't look like a kid that can get in there a couple of days a week. I mean, I like in that situation to Chris Davis. Same type of thing. Kid with big power that needs to play every day.
It'll be interesting to see how Counsell uses the designated hitter in Cleveland Tuesday and Wednesday. I would imagine Santana would be in the lineup because of the DH, whether he is the center fielder or the designated hitter. We'll see. And a little jam shot roller over to first base. That'll be the first out for Zimmerman here in the second. Now the Brewers started this game with 3 straight hits, and now 3 consecutive ground ball outs for Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman from Auburndale, Wisconsin. Stevens Point. He played his college ball. The Nationals drafted him in the second round out of Stevens Point, 2007 draft, and has just continued to get better and better. You don't see many Division III pitchers emerge as one of the best pitchers in baseball. It happens every now and then. Zimmerman is the latest to do it.
Well, certainly a guy you can count on just about every fifth day. He's very rarely hurt. Keeps himself in great shape. All-time winningest pitcher in Nationals history. Doesn't go back all that far, but hey,
that's something.
He's got that going for him.
He will be a free agent at season's end.
66 and 48.
Inside to Segura. 2-2 the count. Zimmerman has been an all-star twice, 2013 and 2014. His breakout year was 2012. That was the year he established himself as one of the dominant pitchers in the game. Had an ERA under 3 that season, and he's proven to be a workhorse for the Nationals. He's on a pace again to get near 200 innings pitched. He's had 32 starts in each of the last 3 seasons. Was a 19-game winner back in 2013. It was a career high in wins. He led the National League that season in victories. Last year finished 5th in the Cy Young voting. Clayton Kershaw won the award. And I think you could say it's been a down year for Zimmerman, but for anybody else it would be a good season. He's just established himself as with such high expectations that a 9-8 record and a 3.44 ERA is considered a bit of a tick down.
And his first 6 seasons he had a 3.24 career earned run average. That's how good he was.
There's a shot back up the middle. Segura with a single. Boy, some hard hit balls off Jordan Zimmerman already. That's 4 hits for the Brewers already.
And he continues to swing the bat well against Washington. Hey, today's time of the game winner someplace else in Green Bay. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a 2015 Brewers home game. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. I think we're in the area where we're talking about April and May of next year. I mean, that's going to be a little bit tight getting to a game this year.
Bit of a cutoff. So we say hello to all of our friends at someplace else. Brilliant name for a bar. Were you over at Rocks? No, I was over at someplace else.
Yeah. I don't like it here. Let's go someplace else.
Here's Elian Herrera with Segura at first base. Long pause by Zimmerman, and finally Herrera asks for timeout. Elian getting a lot of playing time these days. Switch hitting infielder, can play third, short, second base. Right now he's in a bit of a platoon at second and third, and depending on the opposing pitcher, Herrera is finding himself in the lineup just about every day. He's got the Sunday show socks on today, the gold striped stirrups. That's a good look. Swinging a foul back.
Yeah, Jerry Naren's been known to throw those babies on, the Brewers bench coach. Not sure if he's going with them today, but Herrera is. I like that look.
Very fashion forward. He's very nostalgic and yet fashion forward. There's Jerry Naren. Old school baseball man if there ever was one right there. Jerry Naren warms up to throw batting practice. He doesn't even need anybody to throw with. He just throws it up against a cement wall.
All by himself.
All by himself. Needs about 5 throws and he's good to go.
And Jerry usually doesn't throw batting practice, but this year Ed Cedar is kind of on the DL. Got that bad knee, so Jerry Naren has taken over the duties, the first group, filling in for his old buddy Eddie.
How about a Bill Schroeder appearance during BP? Have you been asked?
I have been asked.
He got the bad neck though.
Yeah.
Among other things.
There's many reasons why I choose not to throw BP at this point. Maybe next year. How about you?
Herrera, a little half swing. He goes, unable to check it. And that'll be a strikeout for Elian. Zimmerman picks up his first K.
You can throw BP.
I used to all the time in the minor leagues.
Catchers throw great BP.
I have not been asked. Telly Hughes, he's down there. He was a college pitcher.
Pitchers don't make good BP guys.
They're always trying to get people out.
He's trying to cut it, sink it. Hitters don't like that.
Matt Garza takes a strike. I used to love throwing batting practice. It's always good prep. I'd be a little nervous throwing batting practice though against big leaguers.
Yeah, that ball comes back to you pretty quickly. You better stay behind that L screen.
There's a lot of millionaires too on the other side of that throw.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I'm not worried about my own safety.
Hitting somebody.
Garza strikes out and the inning is over.
Better not
days for Jordan Zimmerman. We head to the home second. 2-1 Brewers. Brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers. It's Miller time. 2-1, the Brew Crew leading the Nationals as we go to the bottom of the second inning, and it is time for the annual Milwaukee Bucks golf event. It benefits Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and this year's event is on Tuesday, September 22nd at River Club of Mequon. That'll be an 11 a.m. shotgun. Sign your foursome up today. You can visit foxsportswisconsin.com. Click on the upcoming events tab for details. Bucks are getting ready to get started. Get into camp pretty soon.
We're in Chicago. Can't make it.
Maybe we'll just head on up. I'm not sure we've been invited just yet.
You can pay.
We can do that.
Imagine that.
No. That's really against everything we stand for. Danny Espinosa will lead off for the Nationals. He shows bunt and bunts through one for strike one. But we're press, Rock.
No, you're press.
Oh, you're press.
Don't be throwing that at me.
You're media.
I'm not media.
You are media as
my
it
credential
gets.
says it, but I fight it.
You are media.
That hurts.
There's a strike to Espinosa. The old line, we're press, we don't pay. If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah.
Give me three. Swing and a miss. Garza strikes out Espinoza.
Got a good curveball today.
That's his third punch out already. 3 of the 4 outs have been via the K.
And Garza, when he's been going good in the month of August, he's got that good curveball working, a good location on his fastball. The location on the fastball has been a bit of a question today, at least so far, but he's had a good hook. A couple of strikeouts on that curveball. He got Bryce Harper on a curveball.
Well, I've heard hitting is contagious, but I didn't know curveballs were contagious. I feel like the Brewers pitchers are, especially the starters, throwing a lot of curveballs recently. It's been a game changer for Jimmy Nelson. Maybe he's inspired the others.
Yep, Youngman's got a good curveball. We saw Jimmy Nelson develop that curveball in the offseason, broke it out in spring training.
Nelson picked up the win here on Friday night, beating Gio Gonzalez. Good work by the bullpen that night. Matter of fact, Kyle Lohse got his first career save on Friday. A 3-inning save for Lohse.
Yeah, I talked to Kyle about that today in the clubhouse. And as you said last night, he didn't realize he was going to get a save on that until Lucroy went out after the game and congratulated him. He said, "For what?" You got a save.
First one ever. Good start to the series Friday night. Last night, not so much. And a swing and a miss. Ramos chases one. There's Kyle Lohse. He's enjoying his time in the bullpen, trying to be a mentor down there and keep things light. He wants to be back in the starting rotation, and he could very well be back in the rotation once the Brewers get through this window of games with so many off days. Working in a 4-man starting rotation right now. Brewers have an off day tomorrow, have another off day on Thursday, just had an off day last Thursday.
Well, you take them when you can get them, but when you have 4 of them in a span of 12 days, that's a bit much. You don't need that many, but the Brewers are going to take them because they don't get many off days in September, only 2.
Yeah, 2 off days, and one of them is on the road. Between the Cardinals and the Padres series, St. Louis and San Diego, September 28th. Other off day is September 14th. So the Brewers have a pretty long stretch. They have 2 stretches of 13 straight without an off day. And Counsell will resume back into a 5-man rotation at that point. Ramos into right field, a base hit. 2-strike hit for Ramos.
Just out of the reach of Jeanette and into right field. Hey, the Brewers return to Miller Park to begin a 3-game series with the Reds. It's Friday night at 7 o'clock, and all fans in attendance get a free Retro Brewers t-shirt courtesy of Arise Health Plan. Reserve your spot today by going to brewers.com/tickets.
Well, it was Ramos who singled yesterday with 2 outs, and then Taylor hit a home run. This is an 8th place hitter with some serious pop, and he is going well right now. Michael Taylor against Lohse on Friday. A long home run into left center, about halfway up the bleachers, and then last night, opposite field number. And this one had some distance on it as well. So he's hit home runs in 3 consecutive games now. And the one he hit in Colorado on Thursday is the longest home run of the year in the big leagues. 492 feet. 429 was the distance Friday against Lohse, and then hit one 419 to the opposite field.
A lot of mileage in those 3 homers.
Ground ball to third base. Herrera goes to second. Jeanette the turn, and it is in time for a double play. Garza is out of the inning. 2-1 Brewers. We go to the 3rd. Milwaukee coming to bat. Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. It's a beautiful Sunday in our nation's capital. Got a lot of Brewers fans here today. A lot of military personnel, of course, and many of those military members with Wisconsin ties. Great to have them here with us in D.C. Great to have you with us on television or whatever device you're watching us on today. Scooter Gennett will lead off back to the top spot in the order. First time through the batting order. The Brewers with 4 hits in 9 at-bats against Zimmerman. Scoring twice. Lucroy a 2-run homer in the first. That was after Gennett's leadoff single. So the second time through, 3rd inning, Gennett takes ball 1 from Zimmerman. And a ground ball to second. Espinoza takes care of Gennett for out number 1. And that'll bring up Lucroy. Had a big moment in the first inning. Lucroy got a hanging slider and did not miss it. Long gone out of here on a warm, sunny day in Nationals Park. And Lucroy's put his way on the board with 5 home runs on the Powerball home run leaderboard. Ryan Braun leads the way with 22.
Yeah, Chris Davis catching up quickly. That home run that Davis hit yesterday, what was it, 450? 440 something. A bomb into left field.
Well, if you're gauging the hardest hit balls of the series based on the exit velocity, that belongs to Domingo Santana. His home run on Friday left the bat at 111 miles per hour. And all these majestic home runs we've seen in this series. Santana's went 337 feet, but it was hit on a line right down the left field line. Had some heat on it.
On a pitch that was not even a strike off the inside corner, so he can buggy whip that fastball and keep it fair.
Hardest hit ball of the year, according to StatCast, was a single, believe it or not. Just depends on the kind of arc you hit him on, right?
That had to be Stanton.
Had to be. 120 miles per hour off the bat. How'd you like to be playing third base when Stanton whistles one by you at 120 miles an hour?
How about on the mound?
And Lucroy strikes out this time.
Didn't hang that one. That was a good slider. Well, he hung the slider that Lucroy hit out of the ballpark. It was a pretty good 2-strike slider off the corner and down.
Ryan Braun takes a first pitch slider for a strike. Braun had a single his last time up. He actually knocked it over the head of Bryce Harper, and trying to stretch it into a double. Harper from the wall threw him out at second base. A throw that has already hit social media in a big way. Don't see many throws like that.
A lot of good throwing outfielders these days. These young kids coming up with big arms.
Harper's throwing arm and his throwing style is a bit unusual as well, because he, a lot of strong-armed outfielders, they get on top of the ball. Harper actually slings it from about 3/4 and yet still has the arm strength to throw it on the fly from the wall to second base. That is a long way.
Yeah. He played it well off the wall, realized he wasn't going to be able to get there. He stopped right at the edge of the warning track, and that's why he was able to get that out.
Well, if it's 126 feet from home to second base, gives you an idea of the kind of distance that Harper is chewing up on the fly. I mean, it's a 330, depending on where he is, 330, 350 range, or 230 to 250 range, I should say. Now that center field throw from Domingo Santana, I mean, you're talking about a throw that's 175, 180 feet. That's a long way. Longer than any infielder would throw a baseball, for the most part, unless he's out in the grass somewhere and he makes a throw to home plate. Braun fouls that one away. I saw Yoenis Cespedes make a throw from left center at Citi Field the other day to third base, and when the ball left his hand, this is the great thing about StatCast, when the ball left his hand, it was 90 miles an hour with no slope. We're not talking about a pitcher, an outfielder. A swing and a miss, and Braun strikes out, fires his helmet. Zimmerman gets him, 3 up, 3 down. First inning, Lucroy with a 2-run homer in the first, and then an RBI double by Ryan Zimmerman in the bottom of the first. There is the Carsoup.com trivia today. Who were the 4 starting infielders for Arizona? Game 7, 2001 World Series. That is one of the answers. That World Series team that beat the Yankees. The famous hit by Luis Gonzalez, the famous flare off Mariano Rivera.
A line drive in the scorebook.
No doubt. Jordan Zimmerman leads off for the Nats. Pitcher against pitcher to start it. Nationals with 3 hits off Garza. He wiped out one of those hits with a double play last inning. You love double plays that end innings in any scenario, especially when it's the 8th place hitter who does it. That allows you to face the pitcher leading off the next inning.
And 9 times out of 10, when the pitcher leads off, you're getting to the top of the order with 1 out. That's why it's important that you get the pitcher when he's leading off. So you face that guy with nobody on.
And a swing and a miss. Zimmerman strikes out. And Matt Garza goes through the first run of the batting order of the Nationals with 4 punch outs.
Hey, next Sunday, the Brewers and the Reds face off at Miller Park, and all fans in attendance will get an old-fashioned vintage Brewer bobblehead, the Nodder they call them, courtesy of Sendik's Food Markets. Call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com.
The Nodder. I'm a big fan of Sendik's, by the way. If they opened one up near my house,
I go there all the time.
All over.
Not yours, but
no, not mine. You don't come out there.
I'm on the other side
out
of the
in
track.
the country. You got to stay near the city.
Right. Amongst the people.
Yeah, right. They don't allow compounds of your size over there where I live. Jason Worth with one man out. He doubled and scored in the first inning. Haven't gotten the invitation to the big crew party at your house this year quite yet, Rock. Where are we at with that?
I think you're gone. When we were planning it.
Oh, okay.
All the time you miss. And
that is usually the way it works.
Take off.
Starting to feel like that's on purpose.
Globe trotting all the time. I might have to take a year off. I mean,
wow, I thought you took a year off last year, actually.
Well, I got to build up the kitty, the fund.
You got to get the moat finished around your property.
The crew. I mean, they can put it away.
Yeah, they do leave a little residual damage.
Replace windows and carpeting.
There's a strike from Garza. Full count now to Worth. Our crew especially likes to burn things, like bonfires and these. So you gotta, anything's made out of wood that you don't want burnt up. There's a called strike three. Worth is rung up.
Right down the middle. I mean, the Nationals appear to be looking off speed against Matt Garza. We saw Desmond take one down the middle. And now look at Worth. I mean, not sure he thinks this is. Maybe low, but right on the edge. Good call by Rob Drake behind home plate.
Got to have that call if you're on the mound.
Too close to take if you're Jason Worth.
2 up, 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Garza. Here is Anthony Rendon. Well, in the Nationals division championship season of last season, you could make a strong argument that Rendon was their best player. Actually garnered some MVP votes last year. Had over 20 homers, over 80 runs batted in, mostly playing third base. They'd like to have him as an everyday second baseman, but he's been at third base in this series with the injury to Yunel Escobar. Escobar strained his neck going after a foul ball in the very first inning on Friday. Has not shown up since, even though he's on the active roster.
Yeah, so essentially the Nationals have 3 guys on the bench, including their backup catcher Lobaton. They got Trey Turner, who hasn't made a start in the big leagues. He's made 2 appearances in this series. And Clint Robinson, a left-handed hitter. He plays first base. One thing about the Nationals offense, they are very right-hand dominant. They've got most of their offense is right-handed. You got Bryce Harper's a left-hander, and they got Espinosa in the lineup. He's a switch hitter. Everybody else right-handed.
Yeah, and Espinosa normally coming off the bench for him, which means Harper's the only left-handed hitter on most days when they have their A lineup out there. Washington does have an off day tomorrow, so you figure the Nats are trying to get through this series without having to put Escobar on the disabled list. Buy him an off day tomorrow, and then they hope he can return when they resume play on Tuesday. Washington has the San Diego Padres coming to town during the week next week, and then the Marlins. So this is a stretch with the Brewers, the Padres, and the Marlins that Nationals fans are fully expecting a hot streak. As Garza walks Rendon. A 2-out walk after back-to-back Ks. That's the first walk issued by Matt Garza.
Yeah, Rendon, a good eye at the plate. He walked a couple of times last night. So 3 walks in the series. Never want to walk a guy in front of Bryce Harper when he comes up.
Harper was Garza's first strikeout victim and already has 5. Harper homered on Friday night against Milwaukee. That was his 31st. Harper's batting average is now 3rd in the National League. D. Gordon leads the league. Paul Goldschmidt, with his 4 hits last night, leapfrogged him. Goldschmidt hitting .331 now, and Goldschmidt is the RBI leader in the National League as well. This is going to be a very interesting MVP race if these two guys keep swinging the bat the way they are now. Harper is 2nd in the league in runs, 2nd in total bases, leads the National League in OPS, combining on base and slugging. He's got a .455 on base percentage and a .638 slugging percentage. Only player up over 1,000 in the National League. And with the shift on, that's a fair ball just over the bag. Rendon on his way to 3rd. Harper will roll into 2nd with a double.
How about that? I mean, and covers the outside corner pretty well. Right over the bag. Bryce Harper will take it. 28 double the year. This time making contact, shorten up that stroke. And it looked like a 2-seamer away, and there's nobody even close. You had Herrera playing where the shortstop normally would be. Chris Davis getting there quickly to hold Rendon at 3rd base.
That's just a good piece of hitting right there. Harper, a little flick of the wrist.
Nothing you can do about it.
That's how you win batting titles, when you can swing the bat like that. Plus he brings the big power game. So here is Ryan Zimmerman. 2 on, 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Zimmerman jumped on Garza's first offering in the 1st and doubled in the 1st run.
Yeah, Zimmerman likes the ball away from him. That's why he stands so far from home plate. Got a fastball up on the outside corner. Drove it into center field. First pitch. And this at bat was inside.
Good block by Lucroy.
I guess if you're Matt Garza, you're going to be careful with Zimmerman the way Desmond's been struggling. Got first base open.
I think you're right. The longest tenured member of the organization in Desmond, who has big power and brings a lot of home run ability, but he strikes out a lot. He's having a tough year, but it does start to give you an idea of where the holes for the Nationals are right now. When you can afford to pitch around a guy like Ryan Zimmerman, who's in there to protect Harper. And that is ball 4. So Garza wanting no part of Zimmerman. Unintentional, intentional walk. And that'll load the bases for Ian Desmond.
And as the season goes on, as long as Desmond continues to struggle, you're going to see more and more of that pitching around. The 2 heavy hitters, Harper and Zimmerman, leaving it up to Desmond. Be a little bit more aggressive with Zimmerman last year with the way Desmond was, swinging the bat much better.
Desmond was the Silver Slugger Award winner at the shortstop position last year. At 24 homers, 91 runs batted in, and he stole 24 bases. Hit .255 last season. He still got the power numbers, but his batting average at .229.
And striking out a lot.
Well, you work around Ryan Zimmerman to get to him. Garza knows he's got to make his pitches here because Desmond still has that power bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and that one's in there. Strike.
And Desmond worked a 3-0 count before Garza was able to strike him out.
It'll go to a ball and 2 strikes. Desmond has had 3 consecutive years of 20 or more homers. Last year was his best RBI year with 91. He's won the Silver Slugger Award the last 3 seasons. So it's hard to imagine that you pitch around a hitter to get to him, but that's where he is right now. That's been a struggle. And it's been a hole in the Nationals batting order. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Desmond, a little chopper. Garza gloves it and can't make a play. A run is in.
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do about that. A high chopper off the plate, and Garza, tried to catch it and flip an underhand. He wouldn't be able to get the out if he was even able to get the throw off. I mean, the underhand flip's not going to work with a guy getting down the line like that on that high chopper. You got to throw it overhand. And he just lost a handle on it.
All tied at 2. That'll be an infield hit and an RBI for Desmond. Base is still loaded. Now Danny Espinosa. Espinosa into right center, way back there, and that is off the top of the wall. This is going to get 3 runs home. It's a double and a. Espinosa has opened it up. 5-2 now, Washington.
Well, fell behind in the count, and Danny Espinosa, usually coming off the bench, a high curveball nearly hit it out of here off the top of the fence. Well, the curveball has been such a big pitch for Garza so far today, but hung that one, and Espinosa with 3 runs batted in. And a 4-run inning.
And it all works hand in hand. Garza has always struggled defensively. He cannot make a throw to first. It's just a thing for him. He has a hard time making a throw, and the idea that, well, it doesn't affect his pitching at all is it's not accurate. It absolutely does. You could tell he was frustrated. He knows he should have had the final out, should have been out of the inning. It was set up perfectly for him. He pitched around Zimmerman to get to Desmond. Made a good pitch on Desmond.
And when you're worried more about the throw when that ball's up in the air than actually catching the baseball, that's how it affects you.
4 runs are in. 5-2 now, Washington. All of these runs coming with 2 outs.
And once you get the baseball, the throw should just be second nature.
Two balls, no strikes on Wilson Ramos. And he falls behind him 3-0. And it has to affect him mentally. He has to be thinking about this. I mean, you can be as strong-minded as anyone and say you just put it behind you, but whenever there's a play like that, and we've seen him over the last couple of years, it does rattle him a little bit. And there's a 4-pitch walk, and now he's going to deal with one of the hotter hitters for the Nationals, and Michael A. Taylor.
And all the way down to number 8 spot in the batting order, so Washington able to bat around. Just not able to get that last out. This inning started with 2 outs and nobody on. He struck out the first 2 hitters he faced. He walked Rendon, and things spiraled out of control after that.
They had Rendon to 2 strikes as well with 2 outs and nobody on. Ended up walking him. Walk, double, walk, infield hit, double, 3 RBIs.
6 straight batters reach.
On 3 hits and 3 walks. 2 on now with 2 away. Here is Taylor. Taylor's put himself into the discussion for Rookie of the Year in the National League. Matt Williams has an interesting decision coming up. Denard Span's coming off the disabled list. They're saying maybe as early as Tuesday against the Padres. And what does he do with Taylor? Who sits? You're not going to sit Bryce Harper. Unlikely they'd sit Jason Worth.
And not with the money he's making.
So it turns into a platoon between Taylor and Span at that point, and yet Michael A. Taylor's been one of your best hitters.
Yeah, so is Span when he's healthy. He's having a nice year. Leadoff hitter. Tough to replace a leadoff hitter.
Both are excellent defensively.
Span's hitting over 300.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Taylor, and a wave and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. The Nationals bat around. They score 4 runs with 2 outs. They lead it 5-2.
Over the crew. Time to check in with the crew in the community. Partner with the Brewers Wives in support of the Salvation Army Feed the Kids Summer Lunch Program by purchasing an exclusive Brewers Wives shirt made especially for that special lady in your life. Shirts are available in the team store by Majestic at Miller Park. Yeah.
All right, Telly, thanks. A 37-pitch inning for Matt Garza. The Nationals score 4 2-out runs, and it all fell apart for him. Garza actually struck out the 3 batters to get through the inning, but a lot of damage in between the 5th and the 6th strikeout of his day. 3 walks, 3 hits. Big hit, 3 RBI double by Danny Espinosa. So now the Brewers trail Jordan Zimmerman and the Nationals 5-2. Adam Lind leads off. He'll be followed by Davis and then Santana. Zimmerman has retired 5 in a row. 8 of the last 9 since the Brewers started the game with 3 hits. There's a base hit. Adam Lind with a single back up the middle.
On a 0-2 pitch. So not just Matt Garza making some mistakes. Continues to be able to get on top of that high fastball. That's something that Lind has started to do a little bit over the last 3 weeks. getting on top of that high fastball, able to center on it and either hit it hard on the ground or line it into the outfield. Don't see that too often from left-handed hitters. Typically, they like the ball down.
Davis with a big swing and a miss. He grounded to third his first time up. Making a serious run at National League Player of the Month in the month of August. No player in the National League has more homers or RBIs in the month of August than Chris Davis. 8 home runs, 21 runs batted in. What a month it's been. Good comeback for him. And it all coincides with the trade deadline. The Brewers trading Gerardo Parra to Baltimore, which opened up playing time for Davis. Even though Chris was the starter to begin the year, the knee injury shut him down for a month, and then when he came back, Parra was so hot and was obviously in a position to be traded that the Brewers didn't want to threaten that at all. So Parra continued to play, continued to hit, and they traded Parra to the Orioles for pitcher Zach Davies. That's a terrific trade for both teams, especially the Brewers, who are in rebuild mode. Get a young starting pitcher for a guy who was at the beginning of the year a 4th outfielder, but hit his way into a starting role, and one of the top performers in the National League. So Davis understood. He waited his time. Once the trade was made, playing time opened up in August, and Davis has made the most of it.
And no coincidence that playing time equals production for a guy like Chris Davis. Although 2 of his home runs this year were pinch hit home runs. So he's shown a lot of power. I think Chris would tell you he'd like to get a few base hits, get that batting average up. He's at 240 right now.
Yeah, fastball just missed.
Well, Zimmerman throwing a lot of pitches. 63 pitches, no outs in the 4th. We've seen him a lot sharper than he is today.
He's given up 5 hits, 2-run homer to Lucroy in the first inning. And he misses again with a fastball. Davis is looking for his first hit against Jordan Zimmerman in 4 career at bats. Pitch number 8 of the at bat against Davis, and he missed it. Went to a little cutter there at 90 miles an hour with a little wrinkle, and the 5th strikeout for Jordan Zimmerman.
Yeah, having a difficult time with a 4-seamer, keeping it down in the zone. But you're right, he took a little off, maybe put a little movement on it, and got Davis out in front. Nice to be able to make up pitches as you go.
Domingo Santana now with 1 away and a runner at first. It's going to be fun watching this guy the rest of the year. We asked Craig Counsell if he was going to play every day. He goes, he's going to play. Maybe not every day, but he's going to play.
Why bring him up if you're not going to use him?
Santana pop up into shallow right. Espinosa's out in the grass, and he's got it for the out. That was in fair territory. And that is the 2nd out of the inning. Well, it is time now for you to tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WisDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. We've had a great weekend of weather here in Washington, D.C. Sunny and warm, beautiful August weekend in our nation's capital. Brewers road trip continues in Cleveland. Headed to Cleveland tonight. Start a series with the Indians Tuesday. So a day off in Cleveland, Ohio tomorrow. Segura lines one foul. He's down 0-2. 2 men are out here in the 4th inning. Segura with a single back up the middle in the 2nd. He hit it right on the nose. And another one back up the middle. Zimmerman knocks it down, recovers and throws it away. And both runners will advance. Lind over to 3rd, Segura to 2nd. I'm not so sure Zimmerman needed to make that kind of play.
They got to it pretty quickly. I think if he just takes his time a little bit more, he's going to be able to get the out. Yeah, good job by knocking it down, and thought he had to be a little bit quicker than he actually had to. You can see Segura not even close to first base. Kind of spins around in a wild throw, and that's going to be an error on the Washington pitcher. That'll be a single and an error. Had he not knocked it down, it would have been into center field. So official score feeling as though that's going to be a base hit, but an error allowing the base runners to advance.
And now they check it on Jordan Zimmerman and see if he tweaks something here or not. Maybe just a meeting at the mound with runners at 2nd and 3rd in this spot. Steve McCaddy, the pitching coach, out to have a chat. By the way, speaking of Nationals coaches, we send our best out to Randy Knorr. His wife passed away, and been a tough time for the Nationals family and Randy Knorr and his family, and thinking about him at this time. So yeah, that meeting was to give orders to walk Herrera intentionally. Question is, does Craig Counsell go to a pinch hitter in the 4th inning, or does he let Garza hit for himself with 2 outs?
I think he's going to stick with him. A little too early to be pulling your starter.
Well, the Brewers trying to get something going with 2 outs.
And that and the fact that the Brewers have used 2 of their long men in this series. Goforth 2+, and yesterday's game, and then Kyle Lowe's threw 3 innings on Friday. So you got Tyler Thornburg, really the only guy that can give you extended innings.
That's a good point. That all goes into the decision-making process for the Nationals. So Garza will bat. Bases loaded. Brewers down 3. Top of the 4th inning. Garza has 3 hits this year. He's just 3 for 35 at the plate. No balls and a strike, and a swing and a miss. He's down 0-2. Zimmerman not wasting any time going after Matt Garza here. Can he find a flare? Cannot. Struck him out. Inning is over. The Brewers strand the bases loaded, and it's 5-2 Washington. Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Our nation's capital, last day here. Brewers Nationals. And so many great sights to see here. All the monuments, all of the history that is here. Carshoot.com trivia: who are the 4 starting infielders for the Diamondbacks, Game 7 of the 0-1 World Series. And we have 2 of them represented here, Mark Grace and Tony Womack.
I didn't have him. I had the others. Forgot about Tony. Sorry, Tony.
Craig Counsell and Matt Williams sharing that infield. And remember, it was Jay Bell, an infielder, who scored that winning run on the base hit by Luis Gonzalez. One of 2 championship rings that Craig Counsell has. One from the Marlins in '97 and the Diamondbacks in '01.
That'd be a good way to start your first spring training meeting. Gentlemen, this is what we're looking for. And you have them on your fingers.
Yes.
And show them.
I like that.
Little incentive.
Jordan Zimmermann leads off, and a shot right to Herrera. Heck of a play by Elian Herrera for out number 1.
Man, how about Zimmerman? You know, buggy whipping a fastball, getting one up in the strike zone, but Herrera right there, able to make the dive and keep it in the glove.
Beautiful catch. 1 pitch and 1 out for Garza, who needs a quick inning here after a 37 pitch 3rd inning, where the Nationals score 4 runs, all with 2 outs. 3 hits and 3 walks with 2 outs. Did Garza in that 3rd inning. Worth, a little half swing. He goes. Strike 1. Worth had a double and a run scored in the 1st inning. Struck out looking his last time up. And a curveball out in front of it. 0-2 the count. Good hook by Garza there.
And he's thrown some good ones, but he just hung the one to Danny Espinosa that he ripped off the wall. Scored 3 runs. It only takes 1, right, with the men on base.
Ball and 2 strikes on Worth. Washington's leadoff hitter again today, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2nd time he has struck out Worth, and Garza's racking up a bunch of Ks right now. That is his 7th strikeout of the day.
Yeah, look at where it is. I mean, literally right down the middle of the plate, and Worth's got to be thinking, I got a hole in the bat. That was right on. You can see the way he's looking at his bat, saying, how did I miss that? Right down the middle.
It's got to be one of those days, too, for Matt Garza. He looks up at the scoreboard. How is he giving up 5 runs?
Yeah.
He's got good stuff today. Lots of swings and misses. He's racked up 7 punch-outs. His season high for strikeouts is 9. Did that against the Cubs back in May. His career best in strikeouts is 12, which he did back in 2011 while he was pitching for the Cubs. That was against the Phillies, or rather against Pittsburgh, I beg your pardon. Ball and a strike to Rendon. Fouls it away. He was late.
And the base on balls is what got him in the 3rd inning. And that walk to Rendon in front of Harper was the beginning of the big inning. This guy's got a real good eye at the plate. I mean, very patient. Takes pitches that are just off the corners. He's already walked 3 times in the series.
Two walks and 2 hits yesterday, Rendon. And a little half swing. They will ask. He did not go. Able to check at that time. And that'll move the count to 3-2. That walk he took in the third certainly opened the door for the Nationals. Garza was looking at a 3-up, 3-down inning, possibly 3 strikeouts in that inning. And that one misses. So a 2-out, 2-strike walk to Anthony Rendon, and it's a base runner here in the fourth.
Fourth inning starting just like the third. 2 outs, nobody on, a walk to Rendon, and Bryce Harper walking to the plate. Deja vu.
So Harper is up there. Brewers will put the shift back on. 3 infielders on the right side. Harper had a double last inning. Just a little bit of an excuse me swing. He looked like he was trying to foul it off or just put it in play. And another little opposite field stroke. A flare that falls. Rendon on his way to third. Harper into second. And back-to-back doubles for Bryce Harper.
Could it be any more similar to the third inning? And once again, first base open. Do they walk Ryan Zimmerman and get to Desmond again?
Now that moves Harper in the top 10 in the league in doubles as well. Yeah, even Harper smiling about that hit. But when you're that good, you get hits like that. 2 doubles today for Harper. Here's Ryan Zimmerman, second and third. 2 outs in the inning. And for Matt Garza, this could be the game right here. Already down 3 against Jordan Zimmerman. That's going to be tough enough.
Yeah, he's got to make his manager look good. He kept Garza in the game with the bases loaded. Instead of going to the bench, I'd like to get a couple more innings out of him.
Zimmerman has doubled and walked. Garza pitched around Zimmerman to get to Desmond last inning. And he made a good pitch on Desmond. He had him out. He just on a chopper off the plate. Garza fumbled the big bouncer and did not get it out. It went as an infield hit and an RBI. Zimmerman a dangerous hitter when he's got the count in his favor. And he takes ball 3. 3-1 now. Desmond hoping for another shot. Second and third. 2 outs in the inning, and the 3-1 pitch is down and in. What deja vu of the third. It is lining up almost exactly like the third inning. And now Garza hoping to create a different result. He's got Desmond up there with the bases loaded and 2 away.
Yeah, 5 walks now, and they're all coming in the last 2 innings.
Brewers bullpen begins active. And Desmond into center field, playable for Santana, and that will retire the side. So Garza does put up a 0, had to work for it though, and we're through 4 at Nationals Park. Nationals Park in D.C. And a reminder that every weeknight, don't miss MLB Whip Around on Fox Sports 1. They've got highlights, instant analysis, and live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around is weeknights, 6 p.m. Central. That's on Fox Sports 1. And as always, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Now the Brewers have some work to do. They are down 3, 5-2. As we go to the 5th inning, top of the order coming up for Milwaukee. Scooter Gennett, Jonathan Lucroy, and Ryan Braun will start it. Those three had hits in succession in the first inning. And the 2 runs are on the board, courtesy of Lucroy's 2-run homer in that first. Nationals got a run in the bottom of the first, and then 4 2-out runs in the 3rd inning to lead it 5-2. Washington's out hit the Brewers 7-6. Two and two to Gennett.
It could be a short day for Jordan Zimmerman as well. 81 pitches already. Just started the 5th inning, so he's not been very sharp, although he's only given up the 2. Difference is he hasn't walked a batter. Actually, an intentional walk to Herrera. That's been it.
Well, Gennett's had some success against Jordan Zimmerman. 1 out of 2 today. Now 4 hits in his career against Zimmerman. 4 for 8. Nationals have so much talent in their starting rotation, led by Scherzer and Zimmerman. They've even got a couple of starters in the bullpen now, in Doug Fister and Tanner Roark, guys that have had a lot of success as starting pitchers in the big leagues.
Yeah, especially Roark last year. Had a great season as a starter and put him in the bullpen in spring training.
And that one's in the air, right field, fairly deep. Harper looking up, and it is gone. A home run for Scooter Gennett. Boy, that ball had some carry on it, and Gennett, the mighty might, with his 6th home run of the season, makes it 5-3. Washington.
Yeah, a couple of home runs for Milwaukee. His last start, Zimmerman allowed 3 homers to the Rockies. That fastball wasn't located very well up in the strike zone, and that Gennett able to knock it out of here. Just kept going. That's the way it is in the daytime. Ball's going to carry a little bit better. Zimmerman having a very difficult time getting the baseball down today, especially that fastball.
Leadoff home run by Gennett, and there's Lucroy takes a strike. First home run for Scooter since August 3rd. Had a home run against the Padres at Miller Park. He's swinging the bat well. Had a good homestand. And now Lucroy into center field. That's playable. Taylor for out number 1. Now Lucroy, want to remind you again, a chance to auction for his catcher's equipment that he wore on the 4th of July. Benefiting the Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. And you can go to their Facebook page right now, Stars and Stripes Honor Flight, and you can bid. So bidding is available until 7 p.m. As Braun on the first pitch grounds to short, there is out number 2. So that catcher's equipment is going to be auctioned off, Rock. It's going to benefit 2 military charities, Stars and Stripes Honor Flight and Camp Hometown Heroes. 2 great causes. We stand behind them. Lucroy's doing great work in the community, especially with military charities, and we want to promote that for him. And
spends his time too. Went on an honor flight last off season, and it's not just money, putting up things to raise funds, but he gives up his time and spends time with our military folks. Good man, Jonathan Lucroy, when it comes to that stuff.
Adam Lynn takes strike one. A leadoff home run by Scooter Gennett has the Brewers within 2 as we play in the top of the 5th inning. Zimmerman misses to even the count. 2-2 now. He's got a specific game plan, doesn't he, against Adam Lynn? Look at that cluster of pitches over there on Fox Tracks. Everything is away. From the pitcher's perspective, that Fox Tracks. And that one's up high. Lynn rolls to second base. That will end the inning, but the Brewers get one of them back. Scooter Gennett on the 8th pitch of the at-bat sends one out of here. Home run number 6. And the Brewers are within a pair. 5-3 Nationals.
The 5th inning, and this Friday the Brewers host the Reds, and all high school and college students can purchase $10 Terrace Reserve tickets or $15 Lowe's bleacher tickets, plus enjoy a special $3 pregame menu. For tickets, visit brewers.com/students.
All right, Matt Garza back to work. Here we go to the Nationals half of the 5th inning. Garza stranding the bases loaded last inning after he surrendered 4 runs in the 3rd. And facing Espinoza to start the inning. This is the guy with a big swing today. He had a 3 RBI double in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. Made it a 4-run inning.
He picked on a high curveball and knocked it off that right center field fence. Off the bat, it looked like it might be a grand slam. Ball didn't carry for him.
Brewers have home runs today from Lucroy and Gennett, representing all 3 runs. Lucroy's was a 2-run shot in the 1st inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Espinosa. Garza needs a clean inning. It's been a battle for him today.
And the quickest hitting the second base hit, but inning ended with a double play ball.
Already 91 pitches. We're only in the 5th inning. 37 of those came in that 4-run third. 2-2 the count. And a curveball in the air. Center field. Santana playing deep. And he's got it for out number 1.
And the same pitch he hit off the right center field fence. Hanging curveball, got away with that one.
Here's Wilson Ramos. Had a key hit as well in yesterday's game. Opened up an inning. That was a 2-out hit. Had a 2-out single in the 2nd inning today. You can start to see some signs of life from the Washington offense. This is a team that lost 6 in a row on their last road trip. Ramos center field. That ball's deep. Way back there, and goodbye. Home run. Long home run for Ramos. His 10th of the year. And the Nats get their run right back. 6-3 Washington.
Yeah, that was no cheapie out there in the right center. That ball went off the facing of the second deck out there in right center. Fastball from Garza up in the strike zone, and you can see Ramos knew he hit it out as soon as he made contact. And watch where this one lands. That's a blast.
And Ramos has not been retired today. A single, a walk, and now a homer as Taylor shows bunt. Nationals Park surrenders among the fewest home runs with National League ballparks. But you wouldn't know it today. It's warm, sunny. The ball is traveling well here as we enter the final week of August. 3 home runs today.
9 home runs in the series. That's what good weather will do for you if you're a hitter. Nice and warm.
Taylor's hit 2 in the series, and they have both been 400-foot-plus homers. Garza's given up 6 runs on 8 hits. And there's ball 4 to Taylor.
You got to wonder how much more Craig Counsell is going to give to Garza today. Now that is 6 walks issued by Matt Garza.
6 walks, 7 strikeouts. And a head scratcher for Craig Counsell with Knebel getting loose in the bullpen. Got the pitcher Jordan Zimmerman now with 1 away. Not much you can do from that seat, manager and pitching coach.
That's a season high in walks for Garza.
And this will be his 100th pitch of the game. Zimmerman bunts it foul. Expecting a bunt again. Garza steps off. Nationals with a home run from Wilson Ramos, their catcher, answering the Jeanette homer in the 5th. Zimmerman gets a bunt down. Herrera will take it. Sacrifice for Zimmerman. Herrera was going to make sure Garza didn't field that ball. He cut right in front of him.
Yep. And Matt was just fine with it.
Second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order now. Jason Worth, and Craig Counsell's on his way out to make a pitching change. So Counsell having to go to the bullpen early again. And Garza is on his way out. 4 2/3. He's given up 6 runs at this point. Still a runner his responsibility. We'll take a break. After he is taken out in the 5th inning with 2 men out. As promised earlier in the game, we selected the Data Strong Fan photo of the game. You can tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #WisDataStrongFan. Chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile, and that comes from Harley. That looks like Miller Park from the other day.
Oh yeah.
Corey Knebel is in rock. He'll try to get the final out of this 5th inning and restore a little order to the activities here.
Yeah, last pitched on Friday here against the Nationals. Struck out the only batter that he faced. That stranded and inherited runner in the 6th inning has 41 strikeouts in 36 innings so far this year. 13 walks, and opponent batting average pretty good against both right-handers and left-handers.
Nats get a home run from Wilson Ramos in this 5th inning. Knebel facing Worth now with a runner at second base, Michael A. Taylor. Got some day baseball underway in the big leagues right now. A lot of afternoon games on this Sunday across Major League Baseball. Cubs have home runs from Schwarber and Bryant today, and the Cubs lead the Braves 7-0. Boy, Atlanta has really fallen on hard times here lately. Braves have lost 6 in a row, and they're down 7-0 at Wrigley in the 4th inning. 2-0 to Worth. 3 balls, no strikes. Got a matchup of first place teams in Houston. Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers today against the Astros. 2-0 Dodgers, 5th inning. There's ball 4. Worth draws a walk. 2 on now with 2 away. And that'll bring up Rendon.
Hey, you're not going to win many games with 7 walks. 7 walks in only in the 5th inning.
It's Knebel's first. Garza had 6 walks and 7 strikeouts, giving up 6 runs. Anthony Rendon with 2 away, 6-3 Nats. Knebel trying to keep the Brewers in this one, and Lucroy is on his way out. Anthony Rendon has walked twice.
Must be something in the coffee in that visitors clubhouse today. Corey having a difficult time throwing strikes just like Garza.
I mean, if you're a hitter right now, you got to be expecting something in the strike zone.
Right.
After a visit to the mound.
He's trying to find a strike is Lucroy.
Can be a dangerous spot here. 2 on, 2 out. And that one's in there. 97 with a fastball from Knebel. Got one by him that came in at 96. Rendon's swing was late, and it's 1-2 now.
Makes up for a lot of command issues, doesn't it, when you can throw 97 miles an hour? Now's when you throw that curveball down in the dirt.
Knebel has a good curveball. Let's see if he uses it. 2 on, 2 out. A run is in for Washington. And that's a fastball that missed. Count evens at 2 now. Been a tough day for the pitchers thus far. Zimmerman, the National starters, given up 3 earned runs in 5 innings. Garza 6 earned runs in 4 2/3. And that ball's hit well deep into left field, and that one is gone. 3-run homer Rendon, and he is starting to heat up. That is a backbreaker for the Brewers. 9-3 Nationals now on a 3-run home run by Rendon.
And once again a 2-out home run for Washington. 2-out runs really hurt the Brewers today. That one middle in, and Rendon, as soon as he made contact, knew that was gone. Way back, just like the one Ramos hit. He knew it was gone too. 2 home runs in the inning. Now 4 walks have come around to score today.
And 7 2-out runs. That was a 2-out, 2-strike home run for Anthony Rendon. He's homered in back-to-back games. Bryce Harper with 2 outs. He's got 2 doubles here today. That'll close the book on Garza. That home run allowed 1 more in for Garza, so 7 runs, 7 earned on 8 hits.
And still will be looking for his first win against Washington.
Harper strikes out. The inning is over, but big damage done. It's the second 4-run inning of the afternoon. Rendon with a 3-run homer, and it's 9-3 Nats. The Nationals, and they are hoping to get on a roll here, and that would help. Well, you can vote for your MVP and help us decide which Fox Sports supports partner will be crowned the winner. The charity with the most votes at the end of this Brewers season will score big with a donation from Hupy and Abraham. Choose from American Heart Association of Wisconsin, Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee, or Fisher House, Wisconsin. And to vote, you just go to foxsportswisconsin.com/supports. Jordan Zimmermann getting a lot of run support here this afternoon. 9 runs, 9 hits on the board for the Nationals.
Well, back-to-back starts, he's got a fair amount of runs. He had a 15-6 victory against the Rockies the last time out. 9 runs here today.
Chris Davis leads off for the Brewers.
It's pretty good run support in 2 games, 25 runs.
Well, Craig Counsell goes to this 4-man rotation with these off days, and starters have struggled in this series. Now, Jimmy Nelson got a win on Friday, but had to be taken out in the 6th inning. And Youngman and Garza, the last 2 starters, unable to get through 5.
Only 4 innings for Taylor Youngman in yesterday's ball game. Unusual for him.
That's a strike. 2-2 the count. Full count to Davis, who is 0 for 2 against Zimmermann today. Boy, had one to hit. That ball is into center field, hit well. Taylor's on the run, and he's got it at the track. Oh, Davis hit it hard. Taylor able to run it down. I thought Chris had another one there.
Yeah, deepest part of the ballpark. Pull a little bit. It's another home run.
Long out for Chris Davis.
Just didn't get all of it. And when he does, no ballpark's going to hold it.
And the first out of the 6th inning. Here's Domingo Santana. Santana is 0 for 2. Has a couple of hits as a Brewer. Had a home run on Friday. Yesterday had a pinch hit double. Boy, he takes a rip, doesn't he? Big, strong power hitter. Corner outfielder by trade. He's playing in center field for the Brewers right now. And that one hit him. Santana hit by a Zimmermann offering.
He'll take that with 2 strikes any day. Try to come inside, just a little bit too far inside.
He's laboring to get through 6 innings, up over 100 pitches.
Yeah, Zimmerman's only had 1 3-up 3-down inning. It's been a struggle for him today. He's got a big margin for error though today.
Segura takes one inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Segura with 2 hits. Had a clean single back up the middle in the 2nd inning, and then had an infield hit that was off the glove of Zimmermann his last time up. There's a strike on the edge. 1-2 the count. Both of these teams will have tomorrow off. Nationals are trying to make up ground on the Mets. There's a swing and a miss. Segura strikes out.
Hey, from birthday parties to company outings and everything in between, there's no better place for a group outing than a Brewers game at Miller Park. To learn how you can save big money on tickets by bringing your group to Miller Park, call 414-902-4777 or go to brewers.com/groups.
Two outs for Zimmerman. Got a runner at first. Here is Herrera. And he's late. Fouls one into the seats. Man, scary when foul balls go in there that hot. And if you're the Nationals, you're certainly scoreboard watching from here on out. The Mets are in Colorado tonight. They've won the first two games of that series. Nationals still 5 games back in the East. However, Washington has a very favorable schedule and a lot of home games. And they play the Mets 6 more times. So they certainly have their destiny in their own hands.
Yeah, home and home with the Mets. Last 3 games of the season against New York. That's in Citi Field. Big homestand for Washington, playing teams under 500, including Milwaukee.
Yeah, Brewers, Padres, Marlins. 9 games in 10 days. That's where it stands right now in the East. 2-horse race at this point. And I think both of these teams know, the Mets and the Nationals, they know they're going to have to win the division most likely to make it to the postseason. Doesn't look like that wild card is going to be relinquished in the National League Central, maybe the West with the Giants. But the Cubs and the Pirates are the 2 teams in that spot now. Little flare foul. Just out of the reach of Worth.
Yeah, Cubs are in 3rd place in the Central, and with their 70 wins, they would be leading 4 different divisions. A lot of good baseball being played in the NL Central this year.
Well, the Cardinals lost last night in San Diego, and the Pirates had that walk-off win, which means the Pirates are now just 3.5 back of St. Louis in the division race. Cardinals got to feel like they can't shake the Pirates.
No, they can't.
The best record in all of baseball, and yet they've still got work to do. That ball's hit well, and Harper is over. He can't get it. Herrera knocks it over his head. Rounding third, headed home is Santana. The throw comes in. It's cut off. Snap throw to second. Herrera's back. And a run scores for the Brewers.
And Elian Herrera able to turn around a fastball from Zimmerman, and you got to wonder how long Matt Williams is going to stick with Zimmerman. It really hasn't been an impressive performance. Fastball up, and here comes the Nationals manager. He's well over 110 pitches today. Not able to get through the 6th, and Herrera able to add a run for the Brewers. Now 9-4.
And Zimmerman will have to exit after 5 2/3 innings, so he's out. Brewers get into the bullpen down 5. We'll take a break. That's pretty well today against Jordan Zimmermann. 4 runs on the board. Unfortunately, the Nationals have scored 9. And it's going to be Felipe Rivero on to pitch for the Nationals with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, we saw Rivero on the 21st. That was Friday night here against Milwaukee, a scoreless inning. And 29th appearance, good numbers for the left-hander. One of 2 lefties in the pen, Matt Thornton the other. And a .297 earned run average. He was acquired along with Lobaton from Tampa Bay.
Zimmermann goes 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits allowed, 4 runs. And Herrera still his responsibility. Jason Rogers will pinch hit. And a chance to plate one more. Rogers off the bench. Tyler Thornburg will be next on the mound for the Brewers. He's been warming up this entire half inning. And he's ready to go. Garza went 4 2/3. Knebel a third of an inning. 7 runs for Garza. Knebel gives up 2. Now Rogers takes one down and in. A ball and 2 strikes. Rogers has had a good year off the bench this year. 9 for 37 as a pinch hitter. Brewers sent him back to AAA to make sure he got some playing time and some at bats. And he swung the bat well in AAA, and he's back in the big leagues now.
He's big league ready at the plate. He's got to find a place for him to play. He can hit, no question.
Craig Counsell just raving about his approach at the plate and that short, simple, compact swing. He handles high velocity well, which is a must if you're going to be a bench player. Think about pinch hit at bats. You're usually facing relievers with big velocity. Rogers down in AAA this year hit .344. And he pops this one foul, out of play. Rogers actually leads the Brewers in pinch hits this season. Has 9 of them. One of those was a home run.
He spent a lot of time down in the minor leagues. Hadn't even been here all year. He and Parra.
They sent Rogers out early July. He was with the Brewers the first 2.5 months of the season. Got called back up on August 7th. He was down in AAA for about a month before returning to the big leagues.
And their Brewers pinch hitters have been pretty good. Parra, Peterson, Rogers.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Rogers. And a liner foul. Not sure how many players the Brewers are going to be bringing up in September. September call-ups. You can expand the rosters to 40 players if you want. Most teams don't do that. And Craig Counsell was saying they're not going to touch the Biloxi team. The AA team in Biloxi, Mississippi is in the playoffs, and they'll let that team ride it out, see if they can win a championship in the Southern League. I would imagine you'd see a few off that team emerge at some point in September. I think the Brewers have most everybody they want to see in the big leagues right now. There'll be a few others.
Might add a catcher. But no sense bringing them up if you're not going to use them. I mean, the guys that they want to see, as you mentioned, are probably here already.
The first one up in the wave of trades, Domingo Santana. Long battle here Rogers will see his 8th pitch of the at bat. And down he goes. A strikeout to end the inning. Brewers get a run on an Elian Herrera double. And it is 9-4 Nats. And we've had 4 home runs in the game, started by the Brewers. Lucroy hit a 2-run shot in the very first inning. And then Scooter Gennett with a homer in the 5th inning. That's his 6th of the year. But the Nats had 2 homers in the 5th, answering that Gennett home run. Wilson Ramos and Anthony Rendon go deep. Rendon's was a 3-run shot. That made it 9-3. It is now 9-4 after Elian Herrera's RBI double. We are headed to the bottom of the 6th inning from Nationals Park, and the Brewers have a new pitcher, Tyler Thornburg, on the mound. His 12th appearance, and I'm sure Counsell hoping he can give him a few innings here today.
Yeah, Tyler pitched on Monday against the Marlins, 2 scoreless innings, a couple of hits, couple of strikeouts. Got called back up on July 31st.
Well, Jordan Zimmerman out of the game, but in line for the win. He goes 5 2/3 innings with 4 earned runs allowed. Garza's on the hook for the loss for the Brewers. 7 earnings in 4 2/3. Ryan Zimmerman drove in a run in the first inning with a double, and he's walked twice.
Best pitch game in this series for the Nationals. Joe Ross, a guy that been up and down a couple of times, and it was impressive in yesterday's game.
Yeah, 22-year-old rookie. 7 innings last night, just 1 run. On the ground to Herrera. And Ryan Zimmerman is retired.
Yeah, Gio Gonzalez a little shaky in his start on Friday, and well, we've seen Jordan Zimmerman much better than he was today. Back-to-back starts for Zimmerman, not too good. But look how he's going to pick up wins in both.
Ian Desmond now with 1 away. He had a key hit in the 3rd inning. Garza pitched around Ryan Zimmerman to get to Desmond with the bases loaded, and hit a chopper off the plate. Garza fumbled the ball and could not get it out. That allowed the Nationals to tie the game at 2, and then Washington would score 3 more. The very next hitter, Danny Espinosa, hit a 3 RBI double into the gap in right center. 4 2-out runs coming in against Garza, who had struck out the first 2 batters in that 3rd inning. That's how fast it can disappear. Thornburg strikes out Desmond for the 2nd out.
Tyler's been throwing the baseball pretty good since his return. Not the big velocity that we remember from him a couple of years ago. He was throwing in the upper 90s, but locating well. He's had a really good changeup. 3 long men in that Brewers pen, and Kyle Oates, Thornburg, and Goforth can give you multiple innings.
Espinosa with a big swing and a miss.
And the Brewers have used all 3 of their long men in this series. That's never a good sign.
No, you don't. You want your long men
looking for work.
Right. Danny Espinosa moving into a starting role at second base with the absence of Yunel Escobar. Espinosa's a little guy that swings like a big guy. Stands straight up in the box, and he has a big swing. And Thornburg strikes him out. Good inning for Tyler Thornburg. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts. We go to the 7th. Brewers down 9-4. And Scooter Gennett in our shining moment of the game, brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Scooter with a home run in the 5th inning, his 2nd hit of the day off Jordan Zimmerman. Home run number 6 for Gennett. Packs a little punch in that left-handed swing. Baltimore is in progress right now against the Minnesota Twins. They lead 3-2 in the 7th inning, as a matter of fact. He's crowing away.
That's a good seat up top of that foul pole.
Gennett batting for the 4th time. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. His night, or his day so far, scored twice, 2 hits.
Yeah, Jansen, good numbers for him this year. A .314 earned run average. Not a big strikeout guy. Good sinker. He'll throw a slider, a cutter. Mix in a changeup. Left-handers have really had a tough time against him at a 158 clip. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed only 2 home runs.
Casey Jansen asking for help, and he did not swing. Checked his swing. Because the games have been lopsided either way, you really haven't seen those late inning high leverage relievers for either team in this series. Nationals went out and made a deal for Jonathan Papelbon to be their closer, which put Drew Storen in a setup role, and that hasn't exactly gone as Matt Williams had hoped. Storen was having a very good year as a closer.
29 saves and gets bumped. Wonder how that's going over in the clubhouse, or at least out in the bullpen. So between Papelbon and Storen, you've got 49 saves.
Wow. Yeah, Papelbon hasn't blown a save all season. His time with the Phillies, and he's now anchoring that Matt Williams bullpen. That gives him quite a 1-2 punch in the 8th and the 9th, though. A couple of guys who have closing ability. Jansen keeps asking the home plate umpire Rob Drake to check the swing. Every pitcher wants a hitter to be rung up on a half swing. Drake's like, all right, I'll check.
Brewers dugout probably yelling, give him a tin cup and a monkey. Quit begging.
That's an old school line right there.
It is. I love it.
Nice. And here's a pop up into foul territory, and there is the first out for Jansen. I always wondered what hitters think when a pitcher's up there like, check him, check him.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking. That's a great visual, though, isn't it? Tin cup with a monkey.
Yeah, that's good. Quit begging. You just don't see that very often anymore, you know? I mean,
I miss it.
I thought that was a strong play.
You ever walk by a monkey with a tin cup you didn't put money in it?
I mean, never. I've
know.
never.
Really? Moneymaker.
I've never not put money in a tin cup held by a monkey. Ever. Jonathan Lucroy, 1 for 3 today, a 2-run home run, his 5th back in the first inning. Do any sightseeing while you were here, Rock?
Did you
get out to some of the memorials?
Went to the Spy Museum.
Oh, that's a great one. Lucroy, center field. Taylor is back. And there is out number 2.
You know, at the Spy Museum, you've been there, right? They give you a secret identity. There's a wall. You got to remember who you are, right? And later on in the museum, they give you a mission. You know what my mission was, believe it or not?
What was your mission?
My name was Dmitry Ivanov. I was a fisherman from Russia, and my mission was to go to Fenway Park and learn about Red Sox fantasy camp. Now, that's no lie.
Oh, wow.
Honest. I mean, what are the odds of that?
Well, maybe they had some intel on you before you walked in the door.
Right.
Ryan Braun swinging at the first pitch, a base hit.
And you know what? Had they asked me to look into Brewers fantasy camp, I would have told them that Robin Yount's coming for a couple of days, so sign up now.
That's right. At Brewers.com/fantasy camp.
But that's a true story.
That's an impressive segue to promote fantasy camp.
No, but it's true.
I know. Well,
I mean, what are the odds of that?
Truth.
What are the odds?
You're capitalizing on the truth. Well done. Because if you don't know, Rock runs Brewers fantasy camp, and he's the best one in all the big leagues.
So I'm a Russian spy, and I'm trying to learn about Red Sox fantasy camp. Dmitry Ivanov.
Oh, that's great. Lind on the first pitch, a fly ball to left. And that will end the inning. Dimitri and I will return from Nationals Park after this. Nationals coming up, stretch time in D.C. Nationals lead 9-4 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. In the rubber game of this 3-game series, the Brewers will take tomorrow off and then a 2-game set interleague baseball in Cleveland. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Willie Peralta against Josh Tomlin. And that's 5:30 airtime in Cleveland, or 6:30 airtime in Cleveland, 5:30 in the Central Time Zone. Fox Sports Wisconsin got a couple of night games Tuesday and Wednesday. The Brewers will take Thursday off and then back at home at Miller Park. One of the few remaining homestands of the season as we start moving into the September month. The dancing presidents.
Thomas Jefferson getting down, huh? How about Taft?
Abe
Lincoln.
They got
Calvin Coolidge. George Washington.
They added a president.
Yeah, Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge.
He's not shown there.
Pictured.
No, he's not shown.
There he is. Calvin Coolidge naming baseball as the national game. The national pastime emerging from that. Wilson Ramos leads off. First ball swinging, and Segura makes a play. Thornburg has 4 in a row retired. I guess the best baseball playing president has to be the 41st president.
George W.
George H.W. The father.
Right.
I mean, he was a first baseman at Yale.
Right.
And a pitcher.
Any others?
Can't think that anybody would have that kind of talent. Collegiate level baseball talent. And he was a lefty. H.W. Bush. Michael A. Taylor at the plate with 1 away.
Bush 43 actually owned a baseball team, the Texas Rangers.
Got a good arm. Threw out a first pitch at Miller Park, as a matter of fact. What was that, 0-1?
Yeah, when the ballpark opened.
Hard to believe Miller Park's been open since 2001. Man,
still looks brand new.
Where'd that go? They've done a great job upgrading, updating. Giant scoreboard out there. The Nationals have a similar scoreboard here at Nationals Park and Wright Center. Same dimensions, I believe. Same company even. But you can put a lot of information on these scoreboards. Beautiful images too. Just a great picture. That is a strike on the corner. 3-2. Nationals Park opened in 2008. They've got the All-Star game coming here in 2018. Recently announced. There's a called strike 3. Taylor's rung up on a changeup. And Tyler Thornburg with his 3rd punch out.
Yeah, 2 times he's running to first base before the ball's even at home plate. Anxious to get that walk. And Thornburg was down the count 3-1, caught the outside corner of the fastball, and then threw a changeup right down the middle.
Here's Glenn Robinson. He'll pinch hit. Nats don't have many bench players to call on. Only have 4 active. One of them, Escobar, is injured, and they're trying to stay away from him.
No, 9-4 lead helps Matt Williams get through the game shorthanded.
Thornburg pouring in the strikes right now. He's thrown 21 pitches, and 14 of those have been strikes. Tyler Thornburg. 5 in a row he's retired with 3 strikeouts. And he misses with this one. 2-2 now.
I told you what I did while I was here. Did you get any sights in?
I did. I went and saw the Pentagon Memorial.
Yeah. Been there.
A called strike 3. Thornburg rings up Robinson. 6 up, 6 down. Thornburg with 4 punch outs. Nine to 4, a pair of 4-run innings. Doing in Matt Garza. Garza gave up 7 in 4 2/3 today. Drew Storen just needing some work at this point with a day off tomorrow. He is now the setup man for the Washington Nationals, and he'll get the 8th.
Yeah, you probably see Papelbon in the 9th with the day off for the Nationals tomorrow. They have 49th appearance for Storen and 29 out of 32 in save opportunities. Look at the strikeouts for Storen. 56 punch outs and 46 innings of work. He's been good. Yeah, Storen with a big fastball. 96 with a good changeup.
That had to be a difficult conversation, though, to tell your closer that you've made a trade, you're acquiring Papelbon, and you're now the 8th inning setup man. That was the discussion that Matt Williams had to have with Drew Storen. But now that that's been made, it does give the Nationals a formidable 1-2 punch at the end. Chris Davis on the first pitch sends one way out of here. Oh my goodness, with some heat on it. It's the facing of that scoreboard behind the bullpen. Yikes. That did not take long at all to get out of the ballpark. Man, that was something.
They stay hot, kid, huh? Wow.
Chris Davis with his 16th home run of the year.
And you're not talking about fence scrapers either. I mean, everyone he seems to be hitting is a bomb, a fastball. Storen missed his spot. Storen gets it up there to about 96 miles an hour. That's a nice short stroke by Davis, and yet another home run for the kid. He is just on a roll right now.
Just slammed one off the facing of that scoreboard there. Separates the bleachers from the bullpen. So it's 9-5. Brewers have out hit the Nationals today, 10-9. Here's Domingo Santana. Domingo was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning, and then he scored from first base on a double by Herrera. I'll tell you, the risk that the Nationals run by moving Storen out of that closer's role. And you say, well, it's an inning. You're supposed to treat every inning like a save. It just doesn't work that way. There are a lot of closers that cannot pitch in any other role than the 9th inning.
Well, Storen better learn and learn quickly. Yeah, I don't think Papelbon's going to lose his job.
Papelbon is certainly a guy whose stuff would not play as well in any other inning but the ninth, when the pressure is on the hitter in that save situation.
Hey, remember when K-Rod first came over, when Axford was closing games? I mean, he did pretty well in the setup role. I guess if that role is defined a little bit more, it's not like the closer coming in just to get work in the 8th inning or 9th inning down by a bunch. That's when closers normally give up some runs, but going to have to make the adjustment. It is what it is.
Santana with a cut and a miss.
He's still got that one, regardless of what inning it is.
And a strikeout for the first out of the inning. Well, Storen, since he's been pitching in this 8th inning role, and that was a trade deadline deal just before the trade deadline, as a matter of fact. This is his 11th appearance in a non-closing role for Drew Storen, right?
Right.
So 11 games. He's given up 10 now, 11 runs in 11 games, 11 earned runs in 11 games in that stretch. And every time out in his last 6 outings, he's given up multiple hits and runs. Except his last time out, which was against Colorado, and he had a scoreless inning.
Yeah, so I guess if he doesn't learn to make the adjustment, he's going to be the 7th inning guy. So
you're going to keep
falling
down the ladder.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make the adjustment at some point. I mean, everybody, he wants to be the closer, but that's not the way it is right now. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be the closer down the road.
I'll tell you where it really gets tricky for the Nationals if Papelbon falters. And they're hoping he won't. They are adding to their bullpen ranks. I think it's a very similar situation as the Brewers had in 11 when they got K-Rod, except they did not make that move.
Right.
K-Rod was the closer with the Mets. And required him via trade. They put him in the setup role to leave Axford.
And he did well.
Hard hit ball down the right field line and slicing foul.
Papelbon with 3 saves as a member of the Nats. 3 of his 20.
Papelbon's 20 for 20 this season in save chances, but he's given up some runs in his time here in D.C. as well. He has 6 outings for him.
Storen's got that big fastball with big movement. That's a rare combination. It's got the kind of movement that Jeremy Jeffries can give you with big velocity. It's got that herky-jerky delivery that can mess up a hitter. Speaking of which,
Jeffries getting loose. Jeremy has a big crowd of fans and friends here today, and family. He is from Virginia, about 3 hours from D.C., he said, and he's got a big pass list. A lot of folks coming out to see him today. Figured it'd be a good day for him to pitch. Segura strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Storen. Two outs now. Here is Herrera. Elion with a double and an RBI. He's also walked. He's 1 for 2 today. I think Herrera is making a strong case for the coolest batting gloves in the big leagues. Look at those things. Those are those spiders batting gloves.
Yeah, they are. You ever wear those?
Look at that. I've really not had a reason to wear spiders batting gloves.
Now wait a second. I gave you a pair last year. You never put them on? Who'd you give them to?
I think I still have them. They're still in the wrapper. I feel a little wrong putting on batting gloves when I'm not actually batting.
Just to get a feel for it. You can wear them golfing.
Nah.
No?
I'm not a glove guy. I mean, I enjoy them. I appreciate it.
They give you a good grip. Those spider gloves.
That's good stuff right there. That's a called strike 3, and Storen comes back and strikes out the side after giving up a home run to Davis. Well, Chris Davis with a home run to make it 9-5. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. We are in the Nationals half of the 8th inning. Final game of this series. The Brewers down 4, getting a home run from Chris Davis last inning. And it's going to be Jeremy Jeffress on the mound for the Brew Crew. His first appearance in this series. And like Matt Williams, Craig Counsell hasn't had an opportunity to use some of his late inning leverage relievers, and Jeffress needs some work.
Yeah, most of these guys, winning scenario back end relievers haven't pitched since Wednesday. That's the last time Jeremy was out on the mound. An inning in the 3rd scoreless, stranded an inherited base runner in the 7th inning and a Brewers victory. You see 55 appearances now for Jeffress, a 3-0 record and a 3.00 earned run average.
Jason Worth will lead off for the Nats, top of their order. Worth's been on twice. He scored a couple of runs, has a double and a walk. Hard throwing Jeremy Jeffress. I saw Jeremy out walking around the hotel the other day with his family. I said, "You're home, man." He goes, "I love it here. It's my town." Even though he grew up about 3 hours from here, he said he made a lot of trips to D.C. and that Virginia D.C. connection.
Mid-Atlantic states is beautiful down here this time of year.
He's excited to be able to pitch in front of his friends and family. He's got a big group here in the stands. Had to go rustle up a bunch of tickets from his teammates. Former first-round draft pick by the Brewers, Jeremy Jeffress. And you figure, well, he's a first rounder. He's a late inning reliever. That was a nice, easy path for him to the big leagues, but it has been anything but. Jeffress was traded from the Brewers to the Royals in the Zach Greinke deal with 3 others, including Escobar and Kane, Jake Odorizzi, and then Jeffress was then traded from the Royals to the Blue Jays. Never really got it together with Milwaukee the first time around, and then Kansas City as he walks Jason Worth. And Jeremy ended up being taken off the roster by the Blue Jays. That's how the Brewers got him. They signed him to a minor league deal last year. He pitched so well in AAA, emerged in the Brewers bullpen last season, and he just took off. Completely turned his life around, his personal life as well. Had a number of suspensions, recreational drug suspensions in the minor leagues, and he is an advocate now for addiction and how to turn your life around. He speaks freely about it. He is definitely a guy that gets the respect of his teammates in that regard. He's been through a lot.
Yep, and now taking advantage of his abilities. He changed his arm angle and then getting some more movement on his fastball, and has been much more effective.
On the ground to short. Segura to Jeanette, and this will be a double play. 6-4-3 double play. Well, Telly Hughes had a nice interview with Jeremy Jeffress before the ball game. Telly, I know he's glad to not just be in the big leagues, but to pitch in front of his friends and family here this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. He just was glowing about the fact that there are going to be so many of his family members at today's ball game, and they've been trickling in throughout the weekend, but they actually even had a family golf outing yesterday, and his mom, his dad, his brother, cousins, they all played, and he said it was just a really good opportunity to, you know, just spend some time with his family, something he rarely gets to do, obviously, during a baseball season. But believe it or not, it was Mom Jeffress, the winner out of all the golfers.
Nice. They're a really interesting family, right? And Telly knows this too, but they own a driving range in Virginia, so that's where Jeremy works. You know, he handles the driving range. They built it. And cool story for them. He loves golf.
I bet he can hit a golf ball.
You would think. They found out when he was with the Blue Jays, give the Blue Jays credit, their medical team, they discovered that he had juvenile epilepsy. And that was one of the reasons why he had so many health problems. And that was a major discovery. Never knew he had it, never even thought about it. But created a lot of anxiety, depression, and good for him. It's a great story of perseverance. He's thriving now in the big leagues. Good family man. Hope he keeps it going. He's got a chance to end up as a closer in the big leagues.
All of that, and he's pitched very well this year.
Ball and 2 strikes to Harper, and he fouls it away. Went up the ladder at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and able to foul it off.
You ever work at a driving range?
Well, I worked at a golf course, but not a driving range only facility. But I've been on the pickup cart.
I've always wanted to do that, you know, as people are firing away down the range.
Target golf out there. It's slightly unnerving, I have to tell you.
I'll bet.
Harper bounces to second. Jeffress with a scoreless 8th inning. Last call for the Brewers. Let's see if they got 4 of them in a comeback. Mama Jeffress says, way to go, son. That's my boy. Day edition today. Brewers are down 4, 9-5, and Matt Williams is going to bring on his closer now. Non-safe situation, but Jonathan Papelbon will enter for the Nationals, and he'll face Shane Peterson, pinch hitting for Jeffress. Jeffress with a scoreless 8th inning.
Well, good numbers for Jonathan Papelbon. 3 of those 20 saves coming as a Washington National. See, right-handers really struggle against him. A 167 opponent batting average. And overall, almost about as many strikeouts as innings pitched and a 177 ERA.
Goes from the last place Phillies to the second place Nationals. And Francisco Rodriguez and Jonathan Papelbon, the only 2 closers in the major leagues this year with perfect save percentages. Our Marshfield Clinic leaders in relief. K-Rod's 30 for 30, Papelbon 20 for 20. Fly ball to left. Jason Worth is there for out number 1. Now Washington 2 outs away from taking 2 out of 3 against the Brewers and winning the season series 4-3. They're keeping an eye on the Mets and the Rockies today. That game is underway. Mets have a 1-0 lead as they go to the second inning. The Mets have been scoring runs like crazy in Colorado. And they are supposed to be getting David Wright back within the next few days. So that'll only help their cause. That Mets lineup has completely changed. They did a lot of good work on the trade front with Cespedes and Uribe, Kelly Johnson. Brought up the kid Michael Conforto. Much different ball club than what the Brewers saw recently.
That same pitching staff, though, those guys can bring it. That's a good starting rotation.
I saw where they're going to skip Matt Harvey a start, so they're a little concerned about his innings this year, and he's going to be skipped in the rotation. They got 3 of the best young pitchers in the game: DeGrom and Harvey and Noah Syndergaard. Washington 5 games back of the Mets. Starting play today. It's going to be a fun race to watch. I don't think the Nationals are quite done yet. And if they get offensive production from guys like Rendon and Ramos like they've gotten the last 2 nights, look out. Jeanette into center field, and it's going to be caught by Taylor. Scooter hit it right on the nose.
He's had a good day at the plate.
2 out of 5 with a home run. Hard hit ball there for an out. 2 outs, and Lucroy is the last hope for Milwaukee. Lucroy got us started with a bang here today. 2-run home run in the first inning. Just the second batter Jordan Zimmerman faced today. Lucroy lost one out of here into left center. Jonathan Papelbon from the Red Sox to the Phillies, traded to the Nationals. And that's a pop-up. Sun shining brightly, but Espinosa's got it, and the Nationals win. And they take the final 2 games of this series. They take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. And a 9-5 victory here today, making a winner out of Jordan Zimmerman, who is now 10-8. Matt Garza, the loss, drops to 6-14 for the season. Time now for Brewers Live. We check in with Jeff Grayson. He's standing by in our Fox Sports